If you're a man over 60 and you've noticed your energy fading, your desire isn't what it used to be, or your body doesn't respond the way it once did, there's something I need to tell you that most people, yes, even many doctors, will never say out loud. What I'm about to share is not just about intimacy. It's about your overall health, your hormones, and even your longevity. If you're avoiding self-stimulation, what we commonly call masturbation, because you think it's unnecessary at your age, you might actually be putting parts of your body and mind at risk. This isn't about encouraging you to do something you're uncomfortable with. It's about understanding what happens physiologically when you stop. And why? For many men, this simple private act is one of the most overlooked tools for maintaining vitality later in life. My name is Dr. David Langford, and you're watching Health 360 Pro, where we dig into the science of staying strong, sharp and vibrant as the years go by. I've spent over 30 years as a men's health specialist, working closely with seniors who want to enjoy their lives fully without relying on unnecessary medications. I've treated retired athletes, veterans, teachers, and grandfathers who share one thing in common. They all want to feel like themselves again. And in my experience, sexual health is deeply connected to physical, mental, and emotional well-being. This conversation might feel a little uncomfortable at first, but I promise, by the end, you'll see why this is something worth talking about and acting on. Here's the truth. Your body is designed for regular sexual activity, whether with a partner or by yourself. That's not a youthful indulgence, it's a biological function with measurable health benefits. When you go long periods without sexual release, particularly as you age, a few things can happen. First, your pelvic floor muscles, which play a role not just in sexual function, but in bladder control and core stability, can weaken. This can lead to urinary incontinence, reduced erectile strength, and even lower back discomfort. Masturbation engages these muscles in a way similar to how regular exercise engages your arms or legs. It keeps them active and responsive. Second, there's the issue of circulation. Erections are essentially a matter of blood flow, and as you age, the arteries that feed that flow can lose elasticity. When you stimulate yourself, you're essentially giving those vessels a workout, encouraging the release of nitric oxide, which helps blood vessels dilate. Over time, this can help maintain healthier circulation, not just for intimacy, but for your entire body. I had a patient, George, 74, who came to see me complaining of just feeling sluggish down there. He'd been avoiding sexual activity altogether since his wife passed years earlier. We worked on a program that included pelvic floor exercises, better nutrition, and, yes, reintroducing regular self-stimulation. 6 months later, he told me with a sheepish grin that not only had his confidence returned, but his energy during daily walks had improved too. Another important factor is hormone health. Regular ejaculation can help regulate testosterone levels and may even reduce the buildup of harmful compounds in the prostate. Research has shown that men who maintain sexual activity into older age often have a lower risk of certain prostate problems. I remember speaking with Samuel, 69, a retired engineer who had been dealing with mild prostate discomfort. He was hesitant to talk about his sex life, but when I explained the link between regular release and prostate health, he agreed to make some changes. Alongside dietary adjustments, this small shift made a noticeable difference in his comfort and overall mood. Now, let's talk about the brain. Sexual activity, including masturbation, triggers the release of endorphins, dopamine, and oxytocin, chemicals that lift mood, reduce stress, and promote better sleep. Many older men tell me they struggle with restless nights or feelings of loneliness, especially if they're widowed or living alone. One gentleman, Henry, age 71, told me after our discussion that he started treating his sexual health like part of his wellness routine, just like brushing his teeth or stretching in the morning. The result? He was sleeping more soundly and waking up in a better mood. Of course, there are myths and concerns that need addressing. Some worry it will make them feel weaker or less interested in their partner. The reality is often the opposite. Regular self-stimulation can keep your desire alive and your body prepared, which can make partnered intimacy more satisfying when it happens. Others fear it's somehow not appropriate at their age, but from a medical perspective, this is simply a normal bodily function, much like exercise or eating well. The key is balance. It's not about compulsion, but about supporting your health through regular, healthy function. If you're unsure how to start, it can help to think of it as part of a broader pelvic health routine. For example, combining gentle pelvic floor exercises, regular walking, and good hydration with sexual activity can create a powerful synergy for circulation, hormone balance, and muscle tone. If arthritis or mobility issues make certain positions uncomfortable, there are adaptive techniques and even simple cushions or supports that can make it easier. And if you have cardiovascular concerns or other medical conditions, it's always wise to discuss changes with your doctor, just as you would before starting any new exercise program. There's also the mental side. Some men find that after a long break, they feel awkward or disconnected from their own body. This is normal, and it can take a little time to rebuild that connection. The important thing is to approach it without pressure or judgment. You're not trying to prove anything, you're simply engaging in a natural activity that benefits your body and mind. Over time, you might notice better bladder control, more energy, improved mood, and yes, stronger erections. I want to stress that this is not a one-size-fits-all prescription. Everyone's health and comfort levels are different. But in my decades of practice, I've seen far more harm come from neglecting sexual health than from nurturing it. When men stop engaging in any form of sexual activity, the decline in muscle tone, circulation, and hormone support can be surprisingly fast. And once those functions are lost, they can be harder to regain. By keeping that part of yourself alive, you're not just maintaining a physical ability, you're supporting your overall vitality and quality of life. So, if you've been avoiding masturbation because you thought it didn't matter anymore, I hope you'll reconsider. This is about more than just sexual pleasure. It's about your strength, your mood, your sleep, your prostate, and your sense of self. You still have the ability to take care of your body in ways that matter deeply, even if they're not often talked about. If this conversation resonated with you, I encourage you to take the next step. Talk to your doctor about your sexual health. Try adding regular pelvic floor work into your routine, and if you feel ready, reintroduce self-stimulation as a way to keep your body functioning at its best. You might be surprised by the difference it makes. not just in the bedroom, but in your everyday life. Here at Health 360 Pro, we believe your later years should be full of vitality, confidence, and connection, not decline and resignation. If you found this helpful, please like this video, subscribe for more science-backed advice tailored to seniors, and share it with a friend who could benefit from knowing that their sexual health is just as important now as it was decades ago. You're not too old to feel alive. In fact, taking action now might be the very thing that helps you feel like yourself again.